Hello guys, Croft is here. In this video I'm gonna talk about the fate of Elizabeth Shaw and what actually happened to her. As some of you probably know, Alien Covenant was released on iTunes and other digital stores, so we actually got a few deleted scenes that clarify many questions that were left after Prometheus and Covenant. Many of these deleted scenes are also in Alien Covenant novel, which I covered in another video. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get even more additional material after the Blu-ray release. But now let's talk about the deleted scene that explains the death of Elizabeth. In that sequence, David explains what exactly he did to Elizabeth Shaw and why he killed her. He also explains his further plans and what he intends to do with Daniels. So the camera shows his lab, embryos, figures, the table with instruments and sketches. Then he voice-overs explaining his motives for experimenting on Shaw and what happened between them. He also gives more details about how the black goo works and interacts with living cells. David's monologue is actually a report to Weyland-Yutani, and he was sketching all these things to show step-by-step procedures of what he did with the black goo and different hosts. By the tone of the scene and the way it's made, it's clear that David gone insane and he's portrayed as an evil, malfunctioned android. So let's go over what happened between David and Shaw. As he explains in the voiceover, he traveled through space with the help of Elizabeth and they found a rotting paradise. By the help of Elizabeth, he clearly implies the fact that she put him back together, and maybe in some way he still has gratitude to Elizabeth despite the things that he did to her. Then David continues and says that he watched the planet bleed as a gift to Shaw and wanted to build a second Eden, but she refused. That implies that David destroyed engineers to please Elizabeth because he probably thought that she hates engineers after what one of them did to the Prometheus crew. But it's really confusing what the Paradise Garden means for a mad android, since populating the planet with vicious monsters is the exact opposite of the paradise. Most likely after the pathogen bombing, David wanted to experiment with the black goo and whatever was left from engineers, but Shaw was against it. Probably there was some kind of a conflict between them, and maybe David even told her that he infected her boyfriend. We don't know exactly what happened, but as David said, she refused to build a new paradise with him. Then he states that he did not have a choice because she was the perfect specimen, and then there are many shots of vivisected Shaw's body which were honestly pretty disgusting. It is shown how David removes her chest bones and the rib cage. Then he says that he tried so desperately to make her something more than human, evolved. Without her cooperation, I had to salvage her parts to begin work on my masterpiece. That basically means that David used her reproductive organs to produce either human or engineer embryos or maybe other organic substances. That basically confirms fan theories about the fate of Elizabeth, because even in the trailers for Alien Covenant, some people noticed vivisected Shaw's body that appeared on the screen for a fraction of a second. At some point I thought that David was making these experiments to save Elizabeth after she was contaminated either by the trilobite from Prometheus or in the process of bombing of the planet. Also in the film, David says that he loved her, so it made perfect sense that he would try to save her, and I made a whole video about this. But now, with this new footage, it's clear that David intentionally used her body to pursue his need for creation and experiments. David continues his monologue and says, "You wouldn't believe the secrets I've unlocked." And then there is a shot of him cutting out some part of Shaw's organs. It looked pretty gross. There is also a shot of deformed Shaw's hands, and it seems that facehuggers are actually produced from human hands, with these tiny legs originally being fingers that were extended while mutating. And I think it's possible because in this scene we also learn that David constructed the alien eggs by himself, so he might have used engineer hands or Shaw's hands to make facehuggers. There's also a shot with the hand cut in the middle and there are some kind of little eggs inside. Not sure what it is, but it's possible that all alien eggs in his lab contain human DNA. David also says that while experimenting on Elizabeth Shaw, he discovered that there's something extraordinary about the substance reaction to the human genome. Then we see the ending scene of Alien Covenant with alien embryos, and David says that he has only one thing left to perfect, and the camera cuts to Daniels in her cryosleep chamber, and then David says, "The Queen. Make no mistake, this is going to change everything." Daniels got a bad luck being the last surviving woman from the crew, and now it's confirmed that David will make her the first alien queen, and I think he will succeed. That also explains why he was kinda worried when Daniels fought with the xenomorph. And when she finally killed the alien, David had a relief because he needed her to survive to continue his experiments. However, it's not clear if David wanted to make Elizabeth the queen. Maybe she was kind of a test version and things didn't work out. Maybe he did not originally wanted to create the queen, but now David thinks that it would be another step closer to perfection. Not only he wanted to create a new organism, but his next goal is to make an entire species that would be able to reproduce. That's why he says it's gonna change everything. I really don't like the way they dealt with Elizabeth. She was a really good character and it would be nice to see more of her, but at least now we know exactly what happened to her and why David did that, so there's no more confusion about it. I think the eggs on the ship in the original Alien has to be produced by the Queen, because the ship was huge and all the cargo was filled with xenomorph eggs, so probably Daniels is gonna be the one to make them. What do you guys think about this? You should definitely check out the deleted scene by yourself. Do you like the idea of the alien queen and the fact that David created xenomorphs and the queen? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Hit a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to my channel for more alien content.